Today's topic, the best job I ever had, the best boss I've ever worked for, and why I made the very difficult decision to leave this year.
This episode of Awkward Anthems is brought to you by nobody, because this channel's too small. Subscribe today, and you'll get an exclusive discount of 5%. That's 5% of your day you'll never get back.
Before I landed my dream job in 2018, I was just another freelancer working the gig economy, browsing sites like Upwork.com for one-off jobs, and living that feast or famine existence. The nature of freelance work is that you have to be a lot more discerning about the kinds of projects you submit proposals to, because 75% of them are ridiculous garbage. But there's that 25% that's not. And when you find that diamond in the rough, it's like the clouds just open up and beautiful, magical things can manifest. Like the power of attorney.
The power of attorney!
This dapper dude is Devin Stone. And if you have any interest in legal-based edutainment, you may be familiar with Devin's channel, Legal Eagle, a channel I am very proud to have been a part of for 3.5 years, and whose growth on this platform has just skyrocketed. And in that time, I took great liberty in rotoscoping and photoshopping as many things on Devin's face as humanly possible.
I serve all his TV dinners right here. He's never even been to the table.
Editing for Legal Eagles started with this job post from 2018. It caught my attention right away, not just because the channel idea seemed interesting, but it seemed like the perfect marriage of all the things that I love: video editing, motion graphics, and a little sprinkle of comedy.
So let's move on to something that is a little bit more fun and lighthearted. Murder.
So I did something I've never done before. I linked him to my personal YouTube channel, which was previously Amy Films, and which included a collection of music video spoofs, absurd sketches, and personal commentary that would have been the kiss of death on most resumes. But I had nothing to lose by trying, so I did. And it worked. What started as one commissioned video turned into a full-time salary position, and I owe a huge debt of gratitude to Devin for taking a chance on me and for giving me the opportunity to take his message and his mission to educate people on all things law-related and make them fun and accessible.
Let's think like a lawyer. I thought it would be fun to end with an example of maritime law, and SpongeBob SquarePants technically qualifies. I surrender!
My decision to step down this year was multi-layered and especially stupid in this economy, but a huge motivating factor was the confidence it instilled in my work, my creative choices, and also in the knowledge gained from being able to see how a successful YouTube channel is run.
I have two main video editors, Amy and Chris, who do a fantastic job, and often on insane deadlines. I am constantly amazed, and frankly, how polished everything is. If you see the 2D graphics that are on the screen, and they'll like fly in and fly out, or the full screen graphics, I have no idea how to do that. That's all motion graphics that's done in Adobe After Effects.
I was given the greatest of gifts by the YouTube gods, and that was a peek behind the curtain.
Hold on.
So I thought I would take this opportunity to share some of what I learned, and I learned a lot. I learned a lot about the importance of branding and collaboration and persistence.
Did I say that right? Let's try it again. Let's try it again. Let's try it again. It's so ridiculous. We'll get there. Almost done.
And how to build authority in your chosen field. I learned about the utility of having a strong call to action.
By the way, I was checking my analytics, and only 30% of the people that watch my videos are actually subscribed to my channel. So please, seriously, subscribe.
Now would be the perfect time to ask you to subscribe to this channel. How'd I do?
Nailed it!
I learned about the strategic placement of pattern interrupts, which might be something like a joke inserted in the middle that keeps the audience engaged and not clicking out.
I feel like that wink was super weird.
The goal is to keep people on your page and on the platform. So by adding these little Easter eggs, you keep them guessing.
If you see someone who is not using an Oxford comma, please call 911. That monster has to be reported to the authorities.
It's like its own art form. I learned about how to make the perfect segue into a sponsor plug so that it's so indistinguishable from the subject matter that you don't know when the actual video technically ended and when the pitch started.
These days, I am basically fueled by coffee and rage, which is why I'm so thrilled that Trade Coffee is the sponsor of today's video.
I learned that a lot of people don't know how to spell segue. This is how you spell segue, if anybody was curious. It's not like the scooter that you roll around on. It's not that.
No.
Working for Devin was also hugely valuable because it really highlighted for me the importance of working smarter, not harder. Something I continue to struggle with because some part of my brain just insists on reinventing the wheel.
I think this is the movie I was born to review.
I like to get lost in the details of things, but when you've got a week to put together a 20-minute video and you're doing the motion graphics and the video editing and the rendering, you just don't have the luxury of aiming for perfection. You need systems in place that are designed to optimize your workflow, which for me involved creating and then repurposing a lot of on-screen elements in the form of After Effects templates so that you don't have to think too much when you get into it. You can just go. Which, by the way, I've got a whole library of custom-made After Effects templates that you can find on my website at bluewavetemplates.com. Now, of course, understanding the formula for success on this platform is not a guarantee that it works for every channel and every audience. I think I'm learning as a smaller creator wearing every hat now: acting, singing, editing, rendering, filming, lighting, marketing, all of it, that what's most challenging is the mental game. It's easy to feel creative and inspired and passionate when you put out your best ideas into the ether and it's received well and people want to engage with it. It's much harder to keep grinding with that same momentum when you don't have the same reach or influence. Devin is quite the entrepreneur, and it's very interesting and impressive to consider that YouTube for him starting out was just like a side hustle. He didn't need it.
Courage Gallegos asks, are you a Sith Lord? Wouldn't you like to know?
This is a guy that graduated from UCLA with a law degree, was already working in his field and successful in his field, and then one day he just decided, hey, I feel like a new challenge. I want to help law students have an easier time navigating a very competitive academic environment. And Legal Eagle was born. That's how babies are made.
I may look like a baby, but I was born all grown up.
And I think that was the biggest takeaway for me. He's like the master of recalibrating and learning and adapting.
All right, animated. Smile more.
And recalibrating and learning and adapting over and over and over.
I went to law school for this.
So that's what I intend to do with my channel. Now, at less than 200 subscribers at the time of this recording, there's no guarantee that I will have that kind of success. But one thing I do know is that fortune favors the bold. And if you want to win, you have to be willing to play the game, even if the price of admission is stumbling a lot until you find your rhythm. Thank you so much for watching and supporting Awkward Anthems. And if you're not already a Legal Eagle fan, I will just take this opportunity to say it's educational, it's entertaining. You don't need a law degree to appreciate the importance of understanding our legal system. And the host is a pretty stand-up guy. So for that reason alone, you should definitely check it out. Oh, one more thing. For those that have been speculating for years if Devin Stone is in fact the love child of John Krasinski and Ryan Reynolds, I can say with a high degree of confidence, as someone who has edited hundreds of hours of footage, that the rumors are true.
This actually, surprisingly, not far-fetched.
Nothing else makes sense. Until next time, awkward and out.